Living in an RV, all sorts of things can go wrong. We've had engine issues, we have had leaks, we've rebuilt the roof on this thing. But the one thing that we have yet to have a problem with is anything to do with our black tank. That is until now.
Oh boy.
Why? You must have hit it driving.
Crack in our black tank? That's new. So here we are currently in a Walmart parking lot trying to figure out why the heck all of our black tank waste went everywhere when we just tried dumping. Today, we are going to tackle this issue head on, and fingers crossed that we can fix it, and we'll take you guys with us.
Okay, so after dealing with a lot of nasty stuff and trying to clean up our black tank, we're honestly not entirely sure what the problem is. It seems like, I'm guessing that it's the connection point basically between the valve and the pipe. There's a big gap. So I don't know if it's the valve, I don't know if it's the pipe, but it's a pretty big hole. So I did a search online to see where we could find these, and Tractor Supply, Walmart, and Ace Hardware popped up. Luckily, we were just down the road from an Ace, so we're gonna go in here and see what we can find. We're gonna try the black tank valve stem first and see if they have it in here. If not, maybe just evaluate from there, but you just gotta take it one step at a time.
Also, as we are headed in here, I'm gonna take the opportunity to use their bathroom since I think ours should be decommissioned until we potentially fix this problem.
Hopefully we can get it done today.
That would be clutch. Today's a Saturday, so making use of the weekend to tackle a problem like this is so huge for us.
A good reason to leave on a Saturday.
Yeah. This seems to be their sewage stuff. I don't think it's cutting it.
Yeah.
So we went into Ace and they did not have the part we were looking for. Today, since we were leaving our campground in Rumney, New Hampshire, the plan was to go through and pretty much drive the highway alongside, what's the mountain called? Mount Washington?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is definitely throwing a wrench in our plans that we're not gonna be able to do that. So we're gonna have to drive through. It's still supposed to be a beautiful drive. Can you say what it's called?
Cucamonga. I think it's
Cucamongas?
It's
Kink, yeah.
Kinkamangus or something.
Kinkamangus road or something. It's supposed to be a very scenic road. It wasn't in our plans, but we're gonna have to cut through there so that way we can get to a town called Conway, which is where all major department stores are, because it's like a relatively decent sized town for New Hampshire. Because where we're at now, it's this little Ace Hardware, which is very nice, but just it doesn't have what we need. Where we're headed, there's a Tractor Supply, a Walmart, an Ace, I think a Lowe's.
Yeah, we should be like right on the border of Maine, so.
And we're probably an hour?
Yeah, we should be at about an hour.
Hour and a half drive until we get there. So we're gonna get some food in us and then continue the journey to find parts for us to be able to fix this.
I would say my spirits are still high, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think we just need the part, and I don't think it should be too hard. I looked up a video, but you never know what you're dealing with.
Pulling into Walmart. This will be our second attempt at finding a part for our black tank valve handle.
If we can't find the exact part, we should be able to find something to scrap together.
There's so many stores.
Yeah,
around
there's
here.
also
we gotta be able to find something. But the drive through the Kank to Conway was beautiful. So it was a nice detour.
Let's see what we're working with.
We just want to double check the pipe from a new perspective, make sure we're looking for the right part.
So first of all, we definitely need a new cap here. We've actually gone through a few of them because this is where we scrape on the ground when we have uneven driving surfaces, and that is what cracked our black tank valve too. Let's go get our stuff.
Well, I would say, looking at it, I am in total agreement that it seems like it's the
Got fresh minds looking
yes,
at it.
it looks like for sure it's like the black tank handle. But you know what's interesting is like your handles on your valves are typically color coded. One is gray for your gray tank, one is black for your black tank. And our gray and black handles have always been opposite. They've been wrong. So I'm thinking that this has probably happened to the previous owner at some point. There's always been questionable things about the RV. So this is
We don't know
no
what-
surprise.
We don't know what it's been through.
All right, let's see if we can find our part though. It's not looking good. They have this, which is for the outside. This is too complex. We just need this part. And I looked and you can't just take that off.
Okay, Walmart was a swing and a miss. So fortunately there's a bunch of stuff nearby. I'm gonna walk to a Tractor Supply and check that out while Gabby finishes buying our groceries for the week. Well, super nice. They had both of exactly what I was looking for. So got this piece to replace the gate valve, and then also got a sewer cap. It was my first time at a Tractor Supply, and I've actually heard that people fill there with propane. So I asked about that too. They don't normally do onboard propane fills, but the lady said she could do it. So we might be swinging back by there later to do our propane fill because we're running really low. But back to Walmart, I'm going down, there's no sidewalk, so it's a little bit of a trail to get back there, but gonna go back and meet up with Gabby, hopefully get this fixed.
So Brendan already picked up the part that he showed you guys that he got from Tractor Supply. So we have everything here pulled out.
We should just have to undo 4 bolts, take the existing piece off. That'll give us a really good sense of what we're dealing with. Yeah, what we bought, it looks like this. It just has a little valve that opens and closes to release basically all of your sewage. And then it also recommended on the package to put petroleum jelly along the seals.
Brendan didn't just get any petroleum jelly. He got cocoa butter petroleum jelly.
It was the cheapest one at Walmart, so I guess we're going with cocoa butter.
So Brendan's getting a couple other tools. I just wanted to show you guys one more time our issue. So this gray handle, this entire thing is hopefully what we're replacing. So where this bolt is, it should be right in line with this black. So that gray strip that you can see in there, that is where it is disconnected and it's spread, and right here is the crack.
One other thing I didn't mention that I bought from Walmart is this bowl. Just some sort of container that we could put under there in case there is a mess underneath. We did just empty our tanks and flush them twice, but you can never be too sure. So we're gonna put this underneath just in case we have more spillage as we take the parts off. Okay, so we got a powered Milwaukee ratchet. Whatever makes this job easier, I'm down for.
Change of plans. We realized we definitely did not have all the tools that we needed. The valve, yes, but there's definitely a piece that we're missing for that valve to attach to the pipe. So there is a Camping World 3 miles away and they're open till 6. It's 5:26, so we need to put everything away and head over there and hope and pray that they have the piece we're looking for. We're so close. It's definitely the smallest Camping World I've ever seen.
I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what they got. So we're not fixing it tonight, unfortunately. It's only a $6 part that we need in order to complete this job. So it's not gonna be expensive, but they don't have any here. So we're gonna go back and spend the night. Try not to use our bathroom. I think we're gonna stay at Walmart, so thankfully we can probably use their bathroom. And then tomorrow drive to another Camping World and see if they have the part. So unfortunately we'll not be finishing this project today.
But kind of the fun thing is that tomorrow we will be crossing over from New Hampshire into Maine, so a new state.
Okay, so this is not going to be quite as easy as we thought it was going to be. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so in the setup, this piece right here is the one that's broken, but it is chemically bonded to this right angle piece using PVC cement. So when you do that, there's pretty much no way to undo that. So in order to get a new piece here, which only costs $6, we'd have to redo this whole 90-degree adapter, which means that this 90-degree adapter is also chemically bonded to this top part, which means we'd have to buy a new piece for that. And then also going underneath, if we're going to replace that, we have to look at redoing this whole pipe. There's a lot of other factors that come into play. That is assuming that everything goes correctly, that you can get everything the exact size that you need. But I know from anyone, when you start working on RVs, especially older ones, things do not go as expected. So we've gone with plan B for the time being. So we picked up 2 things to hopefully seal this up. The first one is Flex paste, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a paste that we're going to use a little plastic scraper tool to apply to any openings that we have. We could see the hole pretty well, so I'm going to seal that up with paste, and then that takes, it says 24 to 48 hours to dry, and then when that is done, we're going to use Flex tape to go over it. I wanted something a little thinner so that I could wrap it around some of the obstructions that we have in there. When I was using the Eternabond yesterday, it was a little bit like too thick to go around the seams that I wanted. So hopefully that is going to work. The first thing that I'm going to try to do is this is kind of the angle that I was talking about. So this has been caused by this piece back here being dropped down. So I'm going to try to jack up this whole piece here, and I'm hoping that by raising it a bit, it will bring these two pieces here a little bit closer in alignment. Okay, so I successfully jacked it up by a few inches. So I actually had a few spare pieces of these sewer end caps. So I wedged one of them back there, and it is currently supporting the pipe a bit, at least to a certain extent.
Okay, so we are in the line waiting to dump right now. It has now been a few weeks since this incident happened to us, and have done our very best to patch the job. When this happened, we completely stopped using our toilet at all. Then as we kind of got more comfortable, we started to use it to pee in, but we were like, we're not messing with number 2. So we did dump one time and had some leakage. Now we're doing it for the second time, as I've spent countless times, I don't even know how many, using the Flex paste to seal up the hole as well as I could, but was still getting a lot of drip out of the pipe. And then after that, I was just like, screw this, I can't do it anymore, and just started to use the tape to try to patch it up as well as I could. Fingers crossed that this holds. I hope we don't get too much of a leak, but we do have a safety bowl underneath in case we have some spillage. It's our time.
And in all this, I will be the camera person. This has definitely been a bit more of Brendan's project.
Okay, so we definitely wanted to do the correct fix when this happened, and the correct fix would be pulling all of this piping out and rebuilding everything. But after assessing everything, the risk was too high to pull it all out and not have a toilet to use. So we're on our way back to Key West where we can do this job more permanently. So small sacrifice of maybe having just a few occurrences of bad dumping experience so that we can wait and do the job correctly.
It's definitely the definition of jimmy rigging when you're on the road. We do always travel with, I would say, a very solid full set of tools. But a lot of this stuff, if we were to fix it right, would take like custom pieces to have shipped in, to where if we're in Key West, we live like 2 miles from a Home Depot where we could pick up PVC and get things done quite comfortably. But when Brendan said that we're sacrificing some small spillage, nothing that we're leaving behind, like I can show you guys here. We picked up that bowl right there. That is a 50-cent bowl from Walmart that fits perfectly underneath the pipe. So if anything does spill out, it goes right into the bowl, and then Brendan is the one to grab it and dump it out into the dump drain. So even though it's Jimmy Rig, we're still doing our best to keep everything as clean and sanitary as possible.
I feel like you gotta know when to do projects in an RV, and you gotta know when to cut your losses as well. Let's see what we're working with.
Okay, black has been pulled. You can definitely see that there is a bit of spillage going right into that bowl. It's really not too much for the amount that we're getting out.
Okay, that was better than I was expecting. We had some times of doing this where we were letting the RV sit and the bowl kept filling up, it was dripping. Then I kept taping it up, and I think I've gotten it to a manageable spot. But it's starting to rain, so let's get this job done.
I don't know if we even mentioned, but we're currently in Shenandoah National Park, which they have a famous Skyline Drive, which is supposed to be a beautiful drive, probably around between 4,000 feet of elevation with gorgeous viewpoints. And today, the day we got here, 0 viewpoints. It has just been so foggy, if you can't tell by all the weather behind. And we're staying in a site with no hookups. So that's always fun when you're kind of relying on your solar setup.
Hey, we were in this weather right here, we were still bringing in 80 watts, which is like just about minimum that we can bring in, but it's nice to have something. I definitely wouldn't have thought we'd have any in this super thick fog. Okay, that's pretty gross, but if over 30 gallons of sewage came out and this is all that we had spill, which I'm gonna take that as a win.
Down you go.
I want to blur that out of the footage. I don't know if people want to see that.
You gotta be willing to see it if you want to be in an RV.
Okay.
Don't we make this look fun?
Hey, realistic day in the life. Okay, I'm gonna call that a success for now. Let me get a quick washy in and onto the fresh water. Pull the lever, Kronk.
Almost.
Okay, this is gonna be a few minutes to get filled up. It usually takes about 10 minutes to fill our fresh tank when it's empty. That is gonna do it for this video. Like I said, we do plan to do a permanent fix on this. We hope not to deal with this too many times, maybe 1 or 2 more times on our way, all the way from Virginia down to Key West. For sure, we'll show the finished product and how we do it for the correct fix.
Also, if any of you out there have an alternative style of toilet, if it's like a dry flush, composting, please put your recommendations in the comments down below. This has totally been something that we've talked about. We stayed at a Harvest host to where the host, he couldn't believe how often we have to go to dump stations, which is about once a week. And he's like, I literally go once every like 2 months with him and his wife with their composting toilet setup. So it definitely has us questioning some things if what we have is optimal. So leave us your recommendations. We're happy to look into it.
All right, thanks guys.
Catch you next week.